मैं उसको भी अच्छा कहूँगा कि आपने जो AI का यूज़ किया बहुत बेहतरीन है।
Mr. Abbas Raza Alvi, a respected community leader, poet, and creative visionary. Educated across India, Russia, and Australia, he truly reflects Australia's multicultural spirit and stands as a proud voice of Western Sydney.
Because as you know, I am a poet, music composer, and sometimes I try to do some paintings and the creative work. But main interest is to bring the creative networking, everyone together, and do the projects which creates a peace and harmony and community social cohesion. Well, from my childhood, I used to write a little bit, a few words in Urdu language or Hindi language, which we call it Noha, which we recite in Muharram, which is very much a poetic form. And I also used to sing a lot Indian film songs in schools and everywhere. That was just my hobby. As you know, that learning the music in India in those days was difficult because most of the time we are putting up our energy on education more in the college, unis and all those places. But when I came to the uni and I was in Aligarh Muslim University, I participated in the ghazal competition as a singer. In those days, the Mehdi Hasan was the most popular singer, you know, and just developed the interest in India. So his ghazals I used to sing. And I got some awards on that. And then when I was in Russia, when I was studying overseas, I formed an orchestra. But in between that, you know, I learned our Indian music as well as the Western music. So I learned how to play the guitar, how to play the keyboards in Moscow. And I formed an orchestra which is known as a Githika, which was the first orchestra actually of the Indian students in Moscow.
A gifted musician, composer, and writer, his journey is shaped by Indian classical roots and European influences, bringing stories to life through music, words, and purpose.
So, but when I came to the universities, especially in Moscow, I have formed an orchestra known as a Githika, and that was the youth program orchestra. In fact, we were asked to travel to GDR was a country, Eastern Germany. At that time, it was a GDR we used to call. So we were sent to GDR to play that. So that ensemble has given me a lot of opportunities to learn the Western music, to learn the guitar, to learn the keyboards, and that's what I have done, that interest in that field. My father actually had a very good voice, and he has the knowledge of the classical compositions, and in our religious mythology we have a Marsiya Khan. So my father was a Marsiya Khan, he used to recite it, and that is full of compositions. So yes, I had an influence from my father. Look, I never had, nobody has objected in my family that I should not go with the music, but everybody wanted that I should devote more time on the education. So I have to balance it, my hobby versus my education. So I was not able to make it music as a profession, though I had all interest and abilities into that line.
With a lifelong commitment to harmony, interfaith dialogue, and social cohesion, his work blends calmness with a touch of humor.
Look, as I mentioned that basically in our society, especially in the Indian subcontinent, where they call it खेलोगे कूदोगे बनोगे खराब पढ़ोगे लिखोगे बनोगे नवाब sort of concept. You know, so always you put up a lot of time, efforts on education, on getting the top marks or something like that. So music, creativity became the secondary. But when I have the independence in university, and I try to balance it. And of course, when I migrated to Australia, I had that hobbies of knowledge of Eastern and Western both musics, and I had the opportunity to do something. Then I formed here a group. In fact, it's a very different group. It's not performing on the stage or something like that. It is more in terms of the composition of the musics along with different artists. So I have done that. कि यहाँ पे मुझे लोग समझते थे मैं पोइट हूँ, सब लोग, मुझे कोई म्यूजिशियंस लास्ट से नहीं जानता था, क्योंकि कभी भी मैंने स्टेज पे परफॉर्म नहीं किया यहाँ पे, आज तक नहीं किया. तो जब मैंने पहली बार कहा कि मैं कंपोजिशन करने जा रहा हूँ तो लोग मुझसे कहते इनको क्या नॉलेज नहीं है, लेकिन मुझे मतलब बजाने की बाकायदगी से नॉलेज थी, एकॉर्ड की. मैं सीखा था, वेस्टर्न म्यूजिक में सीखा है फिजिकली, तो मॉस्को के अंदर ये सब पॉसिबिलिटीज़ थी. आई केम बैक फ्रॉम मॉस्को इन 1977 to India. From 77 till 90, I never done any music, anything in the music. Never. There's a guitar is lying here. This is the guitar which I owned since 1972. That guitar. I used to play that guitar. मेरी कंडीशन वो थी एक्चुअली. तो मैं जब इंडिया वापस आया हूँ, उससे लेके यहाँ तक आने तक गैप में कभी म्यूज़िक का कुछ नहीं हुआ. तो मुझे कोई नहीं जानता था म्यूजिशियन. एवरीबडी नोज एज अ पोइट. सो व्हेन आई वाज कंपोजिंग द दूरियाँ, आई हैव अ ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ रिजेक्शन इन द सेंस कि इनको म्यूज़िक का क्या नॉलेज होगी, म्यूज़िक कंपोज करने जा रहे हैं.
A seasoned speaker and cultural collaborator, he has led projects in poetry, music, and film that celebrate unity and diversity.
ब्लैकटाउन काउंसिल के एरिया में जितने भी सबब्स हैं, मैं समझता हूँ ए वेरी मल्टीकल्चरल क्रिएटिव टैलेंट इज एग्जिस्टिंग हियर. In film production, in music, in writing, in poetry, in compositions, art, painting, knitting. There's a various fields, and that talent is available. And the great thing is that talent is not from one ethnic population. It is from multicultural ethnic population. So when you have so many artists from the different background, different ethnicities, when you come together, your compositions or your projects become most valuable project which has a uniqueness, which represent the Australian culture, which also represent the Blacktown culture, our Blacktown, Western Sydney, and which also reflect the Australia. So I think that those sort of projects are great, and I believe into that. I have done those sort of projects. I intend to keep on doing those sort of projects again and again. One of my teacher, whom I consider a teacher in poetry, Gopal Das Neeraj, a well-known songwriter of India, has passed away. He told me, and I am repeating his words, he says that everyone has the creativity inside. Everyone. It's a matter how that creativity comes out. And if you are a music composer, if you are a film director, or you are a drama acting director, so you are a producer, this is up to you. How can you take it out, that caliber out of him, and present him as a creative person? I go further on that. A child, when he is born or she is born, a child, the first thing what we say, the child should start weeping, So if child doesn't weep, we try to thumb it that he or she should weep. The reason is that we want to get the breaths out of him and her, that he or she should be able to breathe it. This is all in sur. This is all in sur. When a person is dying, whatever the religion's faith is, that the Muslim saying Allah, or Hindu is saying Bhagwan, or some Christian is saying the God, or whatever the words, that last breath itself is a sur. These are the words of Gopal Das Neeraj, which I have presented. I believe into that part. So coming back to your question, answering your question, I think that the new coming artist should not hesitate to collaborate to network with the established artists. Sometimes it is difficult because the established artist is already known, new artist is not known. If the new artist will come in the similar type of respect of the seniors and juniors, which is mostly does happen in Australia, happens everywhere in the world, without any ego, that collaboration will be fruitful. It will create compositions, it will create a project which will be useful. So new artists should not have the ego. But my saying is very easy. Normally artists have the egos. Majority of them have the egos. But here I would like to mention one thing, and probably you will like to take it, that when any artist says that he or she is the best, it means he or she has already put up the limits what is the best, and they say that there is nothing more than that. So they should never think that they have done the best thing, and they should always think that they are the future things for them. There is an experience, they are getting it now, and they can do better than what they have done in the past. If this is the feeling they will have it, they will be able to collaborate easily with the established artists. In past the projects, Duriya, Distances, for example, Sandesh, Message, Rahat, I have done that, and now I am planning a project known as Nazdika. So it means closeness, and I think this is a time when the entire, not only the Blacktown or Western Sydney, entire world is needs to come close to each other. So that sort of project I'm planning to work it out, and it is on the design board. And this particular project will have the certainly the poetries, it will have the audio video compositions, it will have the some documentary part of that also. The project is very complex, which we cannot declare all the elements at this moment, but basically the idea of this project to bring a number of ethnicities who cannot sit together, who will be doing the work together. So my message for the Western Sydney artists, creative artists, especially to Blacktown, because I know there are many artists. You should not shy. If you have an interest, please contact us. You have our contact details, and we'll certainly work it out, something, some role, some music for you, some singing elements or some poetry writing elements where you can be a part of the exercise which will be bringing the people together, creative people together. So that sort of project we have in our mind, and hopefully we'll be starting sometimes end of this year 2026.
A life shaped across continents, devoted to creativity and community, Abbas Raza Alvi continues to inspire by turning art into a bridge and service into purpose, encouraging communities to give back, connect, and grow together in Australia.
रोशनी तो बिखर के छाती है, क्यों अंधेरा नजर नहीं आता. रोशनी तो बिखर के छाती है, क्यों अंधेरा नजर नहीं आता. आरज़ू हम को जिस सवेरे की, वो सवेरा नजर नहीं आता.
Thank you to all our listeners and viewers for being part of this video podcast series. This is Natasha. See you next time.